Great. Yes, we got a Gino gem today, and this one is for option traders. This is for option traders. I have a great little trick I use, especially if you're a beginner or advanced. I love this little trick because it really does help your trading and your decision making. Real quickly to lead into that, we have in our tackle trading website here under Trade Center, we have a playbook. Now, just by being a pro member, you get this playbook, and it shows you most of the, pretty much all the basic strategies we use, the rules to them, and what you have. We have, your delta strategies right here. I'm just going to scan through these, and then you've got your theta strategies, and then you have, of course, a lot of advanced spread strategies, your Vega volatility, delta neutral strategies. All in all, about 31 strategies. Now, with that said, if you can remember all those rules and you use all those strategies, this leads to one huge problem. And that problem is, okay, I'm looking at Netflix. Which strategy do I do? That is one of the number one questions I get from people learning options is I love the strategies, but how do I know which one to use? I mean, do I use my favorite one? Do I use, it's kind of like Netflix is expensive. Do I do a spread? Do I do a long call? Do I credit spread? Well, to make the decision process easier, I like to divide it into, let's just cut it in half. Do you do debit or credits first? So what we have is something called volatility. And this is a perfect time to talk about it because a lot of stocks, along with the market, spiked on Friday and the volatility went through the roof. And so then you're going to get expensive options on some stocks and some stocks you're not. So like what I'm going to do here is show you the IV, which is simply when the IV is high. And right now you can see here, Netflix is at, and I'm drawing a circle around it, 36.75. We're just going to call that 37. Is that good or bad? Is that high or low? Well, when this is down here, when it's down here at the low, this means option prices are low. When this is up here at the high, option prices are high. So when they're low, they're cheap. That's when you buy them. When they're high, they're expensive. You're better off selling them, doing a credit spread, adding to your covered call, selling that call, or doing a vertical to hedge off that volatility. So up here, credits, I'm just going to put credit up here. And down here, you got your debits or your debs. So that is a good beginner tip. But what I did is I don't want to come down here and look at this. And this takes up a lot of real estate down here. And so one of my Gino gems, one of my hacks is I move this volatility to here. So it's up on the top left. You see it says 37. And then it lets me know if I should be buying or selling. Now, the reason I'm using Netflix here is because you see this IV rank of 49%. What I did is I tweaked, and this is a 1-year chart, I tweaked my Fibonacci ranges. So when I come down here and draw my channels, my Fibonacci, here is 100 on the Fibonacci. Here is 0. And let me stretch that out so you can see it. You can see right here that in the high range, this is the highest it's been for a year. This is the lowest. Netflix at 37. 37 is right smack in the middle. It's at the 49-yard, almost 50-yard line. It's in the middle. So here's the question. Do I do credits or do I do debits? Because it's definitely not at a low and it's definitely not at a high. This one here, if you have to guess, it's very hard. This is something you have to be careful of because as an option trader, if you guess wrong, the volatility could kill you. So if it goes up and you're in a credit spread, it's going to make it worse. If it goes down and you're in a debit spread, it's not going to help you. This is not on your side. So to put this on your side, this is something you definitely want to do a vertical with or something that's hedged off. This is a hard one to guess. So to take the Gino gem a little further, I like to make a range. And so what I did with that is I simply came in here and said, you know what? I only buy and do debit spreads if this is in the bottom 30 percentile down here. And if it's above 60 up here, then I sell. So to make that easier, it makes it so much easier to make a decision. Watch how quick I'm going to fly through these stocks and make a decision. I'm going to edit the bands here. You don't have to do this on yours. I'm going to put a 60 and I'm going to put a 30. Now watch how this is my 30 range down here. See this 30 range? When it's down here, that's my debits. I'm buying options, long calls, long puts, debit spreads, poor boy covered calls. Up here, credit spreads, selling calls, naked puts, what have you. So watch how quickly I'm going to fan through these. I'm going to start with some popular stocks. Let's do Apple. When I hit Apple here, Apple is down here below the 30%. And if you look up here on the left-hand side, it's 23%. It's below 30. You can see it right here. 40% of the days are below the current IV, which isn't not a lot, but that's where it spends its time, right? This would be a buying strategy, a debit. And then I go into someone like AMD. AMD, whether you're bullish or bearish, let's say I'm bullish, but you can see right here, the IV is 54. Is that high? Yes, 67%. It's above this red line. In fact, my program that I have programmed in here turns this all red when it's expensive options. So it's above 60, this turns red. And when the percentile is above 60, that means sell only, credits only, or like a vertical to hedge it off. This means sell only, don't buy. So this would be buying bull puts or a tight vertical or a credit spread or adding to your covered call. Now I'm going to jump into another one here. Here is Medtronic. Medtronic, right away, I look up here, 21%. That means buy. I don't have to put my Fibonacci rank down here because it already says it up here. I don't need this down here at all, really. It's all right here. 21, that's below 30. I'm going to fly through a couple more here. This will be, I don't know, Twitter. I'm going to put in Twitter, and that is communications. Twitter is bearish on the trend, but the options are cheap. They're still down here in that range. And, close enough, 30%, 32%. Most of the time it's down, it's lower than this. So I'm going to be buying options. And now I'm going to do Merck. Looking at Merck, IV rank 95%. This is all red. You can see here, Merck. Right here's the IV. It's way high. This is definitely selling options, credit spreads. Very volatile. You want to hedge that off. And just a couple more I'm going to do here. And this one's going to be a little bit harder. ATVI, Activision. ATVI, boom, 60% or higher. It's red. I don't need to look down here at my IV down here. It's all up in the left. That's selling only. Then you got some hard ones. This one, you're going to get a lot of these like Disney. Disney, this one's going to be a little more difficult. Why? Because it's at a rank of 32%. Half the time it's lower than this. What would you do? Half the time. I mean, it's like, okay, when you get something like this, do you have to trade it? No. But here I would say, being bearish like this, the volatility's come back down. I would favor the debit strategies because it's almost in that range. And most of the time, the days it is lower than this, I would say, these are definitely debit strategies. And then another one more here I'm going to do is PayPal. PayPal ranks 50%. What would I do here? Probably stay away because I don't know where it's going. But 81% of the time, it's lower. So if the majority of the time it's lower, that means it likes to spend its time down here. I'd probably guess it's going lower, so I would sell. So it's in the middle. I could stay away, but since I know the majority of the time it's going to be lower than this, that's telling me to probably sell options. And when in doubt, do a vertical that hedges off the volatility. So for me, this would be a vertical. And if I had to choose, it would be a credit because most of the time it is lower. So that's your gem for today. And just to make life easier, you can put it in the top left-hand side of your chart up here. That's one thing. I don't need to have it down here anymore. I am going to post this setup in our link in our archive. I'm going to share that with you right here. It'll be there. You can load it up, and that way you can have it on your chart. Buy when volatility is low, sell when volatility is high. It tells you right here. in the IV rank below 30, you buy. Above 60 on the IV rank, you sell. That's it for Gino's Gem, guys. A great tip for you option traders. I just saved you a lot of time if you're a brand new trader trying to decide on a strategy.